Really? Really? What the heck is this world coming to? More mess, desecrating our eyes.
Welcome to this edition of Cosmic News. I'm Chris, and with me we have Jay.
It's me.
And Abby. And so today we are going to
talk about the worst short I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, we'll either talk about it, review it. I don't know.
There's not much you can say about
stuff
it.
like that. Yeah, there's really not much you can say about it. I mean, okay. We are going to talk about the new Power Rangers short. It's been out for about a week. It was pulled offline, then it was put back on a couple of days ago, or actually yesterday, I believe it was. A lot of people, it's getting a lot of rave reviews from a lot of people. It's had over 12 million views, I believe, so far. And, well, first of all, it did have pretty good production value. That's about it. So my first thought going into this, I didn't see any kind of rating for it or anything like that. So my first thought was, okay, this is a fan-made Power Rangers thing. It's going to be a little bit grittier. It's going to be a little bit darker. This could be cool.
Maybe PG at the most.
Well, I'm thinking PG-13. I'm thinking PG-13. So
were we wrong?
I turned it on, and I'm sitting there thinking, what is this? Is this Quentin Tarantino? I'm like, really? Is this a grindhouse horror film?
It was like the scary movie version of Power Rangers if they were to put it in the scary movie. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, pretty much. My personal feelings on this short is Power Rangers. Power Rangers were made for kids. Now, I grew up watching Power Rangers, so I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit grittier Power Rangers, maybe PG-13-ish. But I mean, come on, people. I mean, for a 15-minute short, that was easily rated R or beyond. And I'm just like, I'm not against R-rated movies.
No, not at all.
It depends on the content. That's another topic for another day. But when you're going to take a kid's show and you're going to throw in drugs, sex, violence, I mean, language, come on now. You're going to have a lot of kids trying to watch this thing. You all may have grown up watching it. I grew up watching it. But
I was thinking about the trucks.
But I mean,
oh man,
what?
Oh man.
I mean, come on now. You still got to be aware. You still have kids watching this show.
Yeah, you got kids, and you got this black guy. Oh man, I'm gonna touch on this one. Really? Y'all racist. Why is it gotta be the black guy up in there? All them baby mamas, you know, and then he's doing the crack. He's over there just sniffing, and he's going in deep too. And he's doing his little Wing Chun, whatever, martial arts, and then he dies by they're just busting the cap in the back of his head out of nowhere while he's training. Really? No alarm system, no nothing. You're a Power Ranger. Like, really? Come on, man.
Get it together.
Yeah, get it together.
Alright, so some of the choreography was good. But again, my real issue is this is not the Power Rangers I grew up with. You got druggies, you got sex addicts, you got alcoholics. This thing is so violent. And some of the words they were using in this show, I won't even repeat them. I'm looking at it like, hold up, you just called her a what?
Yeah, so disrespectful.
It really is. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be apologetic. I'm not going to say I'm sorry for this or anything. But seriously, if you go around calling women stuff like that, get a life. Go get yourself together. Seriously.
And this is what I thought about this. The second I started watching it, this is what came to mind. Y'all see it? Is it up in there? That's all I could think. Mass Effect. Like a Mass Effect mixed with the Jupiter Ascending.
Mass Effect was actually cleaner than what that was.
You know what? Yeah, it was cleaner. That was even worse. It was even worse than, wow. I mean, it was just people with Power Ranger looking suits.
Okay, the way it was done, the way it was stylized and everything, it did remind me of Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Good call right there. It looked like Mass Effect, but this was not Power Rangers. Come on now. If you want to make something grittier and something like that, slap a different name on it. This was not Power Rangers. You may want to, okay, I'm growing up, now I want my Power Rangers to grow up too. I want them to start dropping every single word that we can even think of that even comes to our imagination. Really? Come on now. What about the kids? Do you want your kids growing up to be a bunch of degenerates and everything, saying all these kinds of words and stuff?
Probably do.
Come on now. Now, okay. Now, let's hear from the younger generation who's heard a little bit about this stuff or seen a little bit of Power Rangers. What did you think?
Okay, so
Sucked.
I'm going to tell you how I think she's a
Oh,
part of
yeah.
that.
You're not quite that generation.
1991, so I'm in a generation.
It sucked. Don't say that again, please.
Okay,
We
I'm cutting
started,
you off.
okay, it started though, and then like you get to the point where it's just the head, and then I was like, okay, this is gonna be awful. This is not what I was expecting at all. Like I did not need to see a head just decapitated right there, just on the screen for the longest time. Yeah, that was wonderful. And then you have all this other stuff where you're just like, okay, crappy fighting, crappy blood. Sorry, that was awful. It was just the language and everything sucked. It sucked.
What did you think about the 8 hours of marriage that the Pink Ranger experienced?
That was
What do you
weird.
think about that flashback?
That was weird. Like, it was weird and awful.
Okay, since when was Jason a hick? Seriously. Okay, now, none of these characters look like who they were supposed to be portraying. James Vanderbeek does not look like Rocky. I mean, come on now. I hated Rocky, so I didn't mind him being the villain. That didn't bother me whatsoever. Kimberly was not blonde. That was Kat. So, I mean, come on now. Let's fix that. Tommy, he looked like some short little elf-looking kind of guy with a beard, scars on his face. That didn't look anything like Tommy. Thank you, Jason David Frank, for choosing not to be in this film when you were offered. Hopefully we'll see you in the movie. The thing what they do with Zach, I mean, come on, people. How racist can you be? Seriously. That was ridiculous. And the next one, Trini, I was hoping they would leave Trini out of this because she died in real life. So I find that disrespectful.
Yeah.
So you could have left her character alone. You know, don't do anything with her. Some of the other Power Rangers, I'm like, it didn't look like any of them. Then Bunk and Skull, I mean, really? We always knew they were bad guys, but they were not backstabbers or anything like that. And running around calling women the things they called them, come on now. Let's get some decency here, guys.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, we ask.
Just a little bit.
I don't know. That's my personal take on it. I don't care what the rest of you think.
I don't think that could be a personal take. I think that's just what everybody knows. It's
Okay,
horrible.
everybody may know this, but I know there's a lot of people who actually enjoyed it and thought it was good because, you brought it up to our age and stuff. Okay, since when does being older mean you can act like a degenerate and make a degenerated film like that?
Never.
That's all I'm saying.
Shame on you.
We grew up so we get to do drugs and have all the sex we want and be a bunch of degenerates.
Yeah, because we're
Yes.
old enough to do it.
And nobody can tell us no. Well, guess what? Judgment Day's coming.
Not the pay-per-view either.
No longer. Anyway, that's all our thoughts on the show. And some of you may have enjoyed it. Some of you may completely disagree with us. Some of you may agree with us.
Most
So-
of you will agree with us.
Yeah,
Hopefully. So, whatever your thoughts, comments, leave them in the comment section down below. Hit that like and subscribe button. Until next time.
keep it cosmic.